everyone, welcome to Pour Painting with Ron. I hope you've had a really good week and I look forward to sharing another painting with you today. Well, today I'm going to be doing one that I haven't done for a while, and that's just a simple basic ring pour using some nice colours that I think will look good together. So the ring pour I'm going to do today is on this 45cm by 45cm thick edge canvas, and as usual I've made sure it's nice and tight, and I've put some painter's tape on the back and put in some giant push pins just to keep it off the surface of my table. Now for a ring pour you do need to have your colours reasonably thick. If the colours are too thin, they're all going to blend together and you won't really get to see your rings really well. So keep your mix nice and thick. Now I'll show you the consistency in a little bit. The colours I'm going to use today are mostly Mont Marte colours. I'm using their cerulean blue, some turquoise, and some lovely gold, and lots of titanium white. I want a reasonably soft looking painting today, so I'm not using lots of different wild colours altogether. If you want to use wild colours altogether, feel free to do that. Now with the white today, just to soften it a bit, I'm going to mix in some satin enamels, DecoArt Americana Decor Satin Enamel white. You don't need to use it in a ring pour, but I like to create a bit of a cloudy, soft effect. Now my paint, I may not have made it thin enough to get that cloudy effect really well, because you do need to have it reasonably thin for the enamels to work really well. But I've just mixed in 3 tablespoons with my white paint today, and we'll see what happens. Now, for each colour, apart from the white, I used 100 grams of colour, 100 grams of Floetrol and a dash of water, and I used 150 grams of white, 150 grams of Floetrol in the white, 3 tablespoons of the enamel, and a little bit of water. And I'll show you the consistency in a little bit. But as I said, keep it nice and thick when you're doing a ring pour. Well, anyway, let's get started. Rightio, so here are my colours today. As you can see, a bit more white than the other colours. Don't know if I'll use all the white, but we'll see. I'll separate the blues with the gold and the white. I'll just show you the consistency. Ooh, almost knocked it over. See how it's fairly thick? If I dribble it off the spoon and do a twirly shape, the bump stays there for about 3 seconds at least, maybe even 4 seconds. With metallics, they are a little bit thicker, only because they tend to sink. I still may lose most of the gold, but we live in hope. Now the white I've made just a little bit thinner. Perhaps the bump stays there 2-3 seconds or 2 seconds. I just want to give that satin enamel a bit of a chance to work, because I do want to have a fairly light coloured painting today. But yeah, famous last words. We'll see. Anyway, now I'm going to layer those colours in a single cup. Now you can make the layers as thin or as thick as you like. I tend to make them reasonably thick, and I'll alternate them. I'll dribble down the side, this side first, and then I'll dribble the paint down this side, just to see what effect we end up with. Okay, I'll start off with the blue, and I'll do it this way so you can see what I'm doing. Just dribble some down the side. Don't have your layers too thin, because then all the colours tend to mix together. Some of the gold. This blue, apologies my cup isn't clear, because it's such a big canvas I didn't have a clear single cup big enough to use. And then the white. fairly decent layer of white, I think. Right, now I'll just turn my cup around and I'll repeat the process down this side. You don't have to do it this way, but I found sometimes it creates sort of interesting effects when you switch the layers up like that. So the gold, the light blue. Now I may have too much paint, but yeah, if you don't have enough, you tend to overstretch everything on the canvas. If you've got too much, you can tip some off. White, turn it around again. Some of that blue. White. May as well use the rest. I tend not to scrape out my cups because I sometimes have lumps left at the bottom. And the white. I did have a little bit left, I may as well use it. It's not enough to keep. Some of the gold there. This will mostly get swiped off anyway. Tipped off, so I'm not particularly fussy. Yeah, won't worry. Oh no, I might dab the white in the middle of the canvas. Oh, okay, put that aside. Bring in the canvas. Hopefully you can see that okay. Now I'll just put the rest of the white in the middle there. It's about the middle, yep. And I'll just get rid of these cups. Alright, now the speed you pour the paint out matters. If you pour it out slowly and do the circles quickly, you get teeny weeny thin rings. If you do it more slowly, you get thicker rings. I think I want sort of thicker rings today. So we'll start with this side. too much paint, but I'll try not to dribble the paint at the end here. Caught it, good. Okay, now heaps of paint. I'll mix up a bit less next time. Now I'll just give it a bit of a torch. Pop the air bubbles. Alright, now let's see what happens. Now I'll just swirl it around a little bit. Make sure it's moving. I might go to that corner. Bring the paint back to the middle. And then I'll go to this corner. Bring it back. I don't want to lose all that white. And then I'll go to this corner. And bring it back into the middle. Now, how is that looking? Okay, yeah, we've sort of got the soft white look happening there. And we did keep quite a bit of the gold, which is great. I think I might actually leave it like that, because I know if I'm going to play with it, I'm going to wreck it. Okay, now I'll just tidy up some of my corners here. I'll just pick up some paint. I didn't get this corner. Just tidy up that. The corner over there. This one here. Corners can be a bit tricky. You lose a lot of paint trying to get the corners done. Let that all blend in okay. And then this one. Almost done. Cool. Okay, now the satin white enamels will do their thing for a while. I'll give it a bit of a torch. Hopefully the fly buzzing around isn't going to do anything. Glad I kept quite a bit of that of the gold. It didn't all disappear. Okay, and if I wouldn't have used the satin enamels, the edges of the white would have been a lot harsher, and we wouldn't have had these like little cloud things appearing in the painting. So if you don't want those, don't use the satin enamels, but if you do, use the satin enamels. All right, now I'll just wash my gloves a bit and then I'll bring you in for a closer look. But before I do, I'll go around and scrape off the bottom edges. They look unsightly if you let drips dry, but they can also pull the paint off your canvas. So just go around and scrape the bottom edges like so. You end up with a tidy sort of result then for your painting. You may have to do it again a little later, but this initial scrape gets rid of most of your paint that's left over. So, now I'll just get myself organised and I'll bring you in for a closer look. So here we go. Hopefully you can see that painting. I'll bring you down. So we've got some lovely sort of cloudy looking effects happening here. We've even got some fine lines of gold and gold showing here. As we go up, you see the fine lines of gold through there as well. So I think it's really, really lovely. Yeah, the colours don't show up quite accurately in my camera for some reason. But hopefully you get the general gist of what's happening here in this painting. They look a bit darker on the video than they are actually in real life. Okay, and this is the centre here. If I would have stretched it out more, we would have got more happening here in the centre of the painting, but then I would have lost all my white off the edges. Okay, so we'll just zoom out. So what did you think of that one? I think it turned out really, really nice, and the gold will look really nice and shiny when it dries. You can't really see the shine while it's wet. Is that a technique that you would like to have a go at yourself? Ring pours are not really that difficult to do, so long as you keep just a couple of things in mind. If you want nicely defined rings, keep your mix on the thick side. If it's too thin, all your colours will blend together and you'll lose your rings. So nice thick paint, try to keep the same consistency across all of the colours. Now if you want to reveal more of the pattern in the centre by stretching out your painting more, just use a little bit less paint than I did so you don't lose too much of your design over the edge of the canvas while you're stretching out the middle of your painting. That's about all you need to remember, really. I think next week I might have another go at another ring pour. I haven't done a multi-ring pour for a while, so I've been thinking I might do one that uses lots of metallic colours. We'll see what happens there. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, please take a moment to press the like button. It helps my content get found on YouTube. And if you'd like to see more of my content, please take a moment to subscribe. So I hope you have a really great week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. In the meantime, happy painting.